Hi guys, PLO Warrior here, back with the final part of the 50 PLO. I'm playing it about an hour after the last one, so it's different people. Some of them will still be playing, but it's not the same session anyway. Just playing some pounds, euros, dollar, pounds. Trying to get another one up here. So should be interesting or something like that. Probably win on this table as it's dollars and lose on the rest of them. Yes, well, just trying to get on the waiting lists to speed things up a bit on this table here. I want loads of decisions to make, loads of them. I mean, I don't really know how to play more than 6 tables and record it. Maybe I could just overlap them, sort of 2 tables each. So I could do 12. I might try that next time. Generally, when I start out playing a session, I try to play tighter than I normally do. Not by much, but just like, you know, pretty tight to start off the session. Because I feel that if I just start out by playing loose and aggressive, like, I don't know, feels like it tilts me when I lose like 2 or 3 buy-ins straight away, when maybe I shouldn't have even been in the pot, sort of thing. I just try to play tight for like half an hour. I've generally been doing that for as long as I've been playing PLO. Bottom right table, I 3-bet and then we get this flop, which is pretty like it's very tricky because I've only got 11 hands on him, but he plays like, obviously as you can see, 91% of his hands, but obviously when I bet 11 into 16, there should be like 7, should be like 30 left in stacks. So there'll be 27 in the pot, and there should be 30 left in stacks. Once I bet that, I've got 30, yeah. So if he raises me, it becomes pretty tricky, because obviously we've got, you know, second pair. We've got all our 2 pair outs are are good, apart from maybe the jack if he's got 8-10, but you know, we've got backdoor flush draw. So like, do you bet fold? Do you bet get it in, or do you check? Or do you bet tiny and fold? You know? That's the beauty of poker, there's no easy answer in any situation. Well, sometimes there are easy answers, but you know. This guy's playing every hand, it looks like. I really do want to play this hand, but I don't want to just call and let everyone in, and then obviously my weak flush draws would be no good. I can't really 3-bet because he hasn't got 100 BBs. This guy's short, so I have to fold is the only other. If I was on the button, maybe or like if I was No, they all folded anyway, but you know, early position is always the problem. Yeah, I need to start taking more notes on video. I used to take a lot of notes, and then, well, then I got hold of Manager 2, and I really don't like it, to be honest. We would have flopped pretty nice in the bottom right, but you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, I really dislike Holder Manager 2. It's just too slow and clunky, and I really hate it. So I've made loads of notes on that, and I've gone back to Holder Manager 1. But I haven't, like, I know you can export notes or import notes, but I haven't done that. And this is a new account as well. So I've kind of been getting out of the habit of taking notes. I'm going to try and start to do some in this session and in future. I like to observe what people have got. I mean, that's pretty standard, even though it's over 100 big blinds this guy's getting in. But it's a very dry flop. He's got 2 backdoor flush draws. So that was like 150 big blinds. This guy probably gets it in a bit too light, I'd say. Measure the shift. Yeah. It's not terrible, but obviously if someone's going to get in 150 big blinds on 8-7 deuce, once you erase them, then you know they've either got like 9-10 jack, like 8-9-10, or like a set, or 7-8, and all those hands beat 8-2 really. Although it's a dry flop, you know. And yeah, you got 2 backdoor flush draws, but in my experience, I'm terrible at turning a backdoor flush draw or hitting a backdoor flush draw, and it doesn't add that much equity anyway. Like 8% for having 2. Is it 8 or is it 4? It's 4 each, I think, isn't it? Yeah, so 8%, which is not very much. So you can't base your whole decision on it. If he thinks his 8-2's dead, like if he thinks, oh, he's got 7-8, but I've got 2 backdoor flush draws, then well, that's only giving you an extra like 8% equity. So you've got double suited aces down the bottom right. Pretty excited about that. And just see bet, and we've got a 5 blocker, although we're pretty deep with this guy, but obviously I don't expect to be raised much on this board unless it's like something killer like 8-9, 5-8-9 with spades, or 8-9-10 with spades or something. But even then it's never going to be nut spades, so. And he does raise me. This guy's not that tight, not that aggressive by the looks of things, so I'm actually just going to flat call for a start. Raise bet. Yeah, interesting. He must have been on the bluff, but I'm just going to check. I don't think he's going to fold any 2 pair if he has 2 pair. And top right, I'm just going to start betting because the flop was checked back. We picked up 2 flush draws and second pair. I'm just going to fold against that guy. I mean, the 9 is just not a good turn card, really. I don't think I can't see how I could play the hand any different. I mean, I could re-raise the flop, but then we're just wasting equity if he re-raises us. Like he made it, yeah, he made it 10. If we make it like 22 and then he pots it to like 70 or something, then we have to fold. So it's a bit of a waste. I'm just going to bet 5. Yeah, this guy is pretty loose. Got a few notes on him, but they're not really worth talking about probably because he's got no money. I led out with the 7 high flush, which is a bit spewy. I'm just going to keep betting, although I wouldn't be surprised if I'm beat. If he raises me, I can actually fold, which sounds a bit crazy, but I can't see how we'd be raising a hand worse than a 7 high flush on that board. So I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to fold and not lose too much sleep over it. Yeah, against this guy, I'm just going to bet small again and then fold if he raises. He doesn't have many chips. I like to keep the pressure on. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, right? Yeah, check fold, have it all, have it all. I'm going to 3-bet this hand on the top left. Only because there's dead money in it. This guy's opening from under the gun. This guy cold calls it. Don't like that at all. That could potentially kill a lot of my suits. I mean, someone cold calling like that it's generally indicative of like a rundown type hand, and that's a really dry board. I'm actually going to check. I mean, I could bet it. I was going to bet 15 and fold. Yeah, this smacks the range of this guy. He should have rundowns to be cold calling from the small blind. Cold calling a 3-bet. He should have like 10 jack queen and all that stuff, like, you know, 8, 9, 10 back. So like he has 2 pair, or he has 1 pair and a flush draw and like an open ender and stuff. So it's a pretty easy fold. That's why I'm obviously, you know, fine with 3-betting hands like this. They're not super strong, but they're strong enough to play like heads up, you know. I'm not going to get into too much trouble when I flop a weak draw or something. So yeah, I 3-bet bottom right, and I will c-bet this board against this guy, definitely. Can't see how I can get him off an ace if there's 22 in the pot and there's 40 in stacks. It's just fold, check coming, and then top middle one, we 3-bet this hand and he calls. Obviously we c-bet with our top pair and our wrap, and then the bottom right It's an easy call, really. I think it's likely he could have an 8, but obviously it's only half pot size bet. He's a pretty fishy player. Like, I don't expect him to be turning an ace into a bluff or value betting an ace, to be honest, on that board. So it looks quite likely he does have an 8, but when someone's that loose, you don't, you know, it finds a call when people are that loose. But the other thing is, like, obviously people can be loose, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be aggressive. People always tend to mix up those two things. Okay, this guy sits down on the bottom left. We'll play him heads up. I've played him before. He's pretty bad, so that should be alright. Gonna 3-bet there, king 8, 10, whatever. Bottom left, heads up. I want to try and tilt this guy. He tilts, he goes crazy. Well, he can't. Yeah. Tempting to 3-bet a jack, jack 8, 9, but I don't know how much this guy 4-bets. I'll do it anyway. 4-bets, a bit. Pretty gross-ish flop, but not terrible. Definitely just bet fold on that flop. Hopefully he doesn't have a king. We have jack blockers, so he can't have that many straight draws. It's all about if he has a king or not. And if he doesn't, he folds. Well, that's the theory anyway. When somebody's playing like 3/4 of their hands, that theory does change a bit. Just try and take it down top left, top pair, and not much else. Just try and take it down as early as possible against somebody that's just limped in. And I'm just going to pop the turn as well when I pick up an open ender. Just like really put the pressure on him, you know, and then he's got to worry about am I going to pop the river? The way he calls a turn, then he snips, and then he snap checks the river when it's a club. Like, I think he has a flush here like 80% of the time, so I can't bet. What a surprise. See, people like that, you know what they have. You're putting the pressure on. Club doesn't come, you win the pot. This limping gets you nowhere, passive poker gets you nowhere. So, bear that in mind. Yeah, bottom left, heads up, I flop the nuts. I've got no reason to slow play. Well, I mean, I do have a reason to slow play because he could bluff, but I'm only really going to get one bet out of him. He's so loose, he will call a bet of any flush draw, or like any 6-7, like any 7-9 maybe with something else. So, you know, people just, they flop a nice hand and they don't know, just start betting small and just get the money in. You got to build a pot with a strong hand. He raises us on the bottom left, which I expect him to do a lot of the time. Thing is, we do have like the 210 blockers, but I think it's too easy for him to have a flush draw and like a gut shot and just decide that he's going to go with it. So c-bet the bottom right. This guy's pretty weak. Interesting to check or bet the turn. Still going to bet the turn. You snap fold, so it's okay. And then we make our full house down here. I think the guy could have a flush as his most likely hand, so I'm going to bet on the bigger side. If he raises me, I will fold, as he'll probably have pocket queens or queen jack, queen 10. And then bottom left, he raised us. We're just going to put it, but hopefully he folds an ace, just like, or he gets it in with terrible equity. Which is a good result for us. I was thinking I could get him off an ace, just a bare ace. Obviously, I don't expect him to fold 2 pair with an ace, but I mean, there wasn't that much. There was already, after I dunked the pot, there was 16 in the pot, and there was 28 in stacks, right? Yeah, so that's fine. If he doesn't have an ace, he's going to fold. Sometimes he'll fold an ace, and then sometimes he gets it in with a worse flush draw. I'm going to defend the ace 6, 8, 9, and this guy on the bottom left reloaded, so that's good. I'm just going to donk the bottom middle table. It's pretty like horrible flop in that we have 2 pair, but we're not going to have a good hand on the turn, pretty much. So I'd rather just bet now. If he raises me, I would easily fold. If he flats and obviously an undercard comes, then I can decide whether to bet or not. Gonna 3-bet the queen 8, 7, 5 as well against this guy. 5, 7, 8. Alright, second pair, a gut shot, 2 backdoor flush draws. I'm just gonna bet on the smaller side. I might, because I bet on the smaller side, I don't know. I think I might actually get it in here. I don't know if it's crazy or not. It's 32 in the pot. No, I don't think it's that crazy. I'll let you know afterwards. He has top pair. Still can't turn a flush draw. So hard for me to turn a flush draw. Never done it in my life. But yeah, I don't know if it was that crazy. I just want to check my equity out. Well, I was winning by 0.5%, so that was fine against his actual hand, but I don't think it was that bad anyway. I think it was very dry flop anyway. I'm gonna c-bet the turn with basically nothing. Easy check fold. No action with our aces, sigh. But you know, aces are rubbish anyway. Oh, this guy doubled up again. He'll probably leave soon. He normally does. Not bad flop for our hand. Going to bet on the bigger side. Try and build a nice pot. Yeah, don't be scared to bet on the bigger side. Just make sure you do it with your bluffs too. If you want to value bet on the bigger side, bluff on the bigger side. Simples. Although these people generally, I don't think, really think about these things. So you can probably bet a bit smaller with your weaker hands. Come on, don't leave. I can feel it. I need to hurry up and get a stack of him. I'm going to 3-bet my kings in the top right. Only because I know this guy opens the button pretty light, even though his stats say he doesn't. Well, his stats say he's opening 37% of buttons over. Gonna see about this flop. It's pretty gross if I get raised because I have a deuce and I have a 7. So I don't know what he'd be raising me with. But it's fine, he doesn't give us much grief. And then bottom left, I think I have an easy C bet on the river. I'm going to bet on the smaller side. Hopefully get called by like king, queen, pocket queens. Not that I think he has those hands, but you know, probably not really getting called by anything to be honest on that flop, on that board, but you got to bet sometimes against, well, you got to bet all the time against these weaker players. This hand is really crappy. I'm actually just gonna, I raised it from the small blind. I'm just gonna fold. I think I've been defending. I've been calling too many 3-bets recently. I need to forget about that. I'm gonna bet on the bigger side here with nothing. And he check raises us. So somebody's doing some knocking somewhere. Don't know what they're doing, but sorry about that if you can hear it. Alright, and we've got the top pair and 2 backdoors. That's one of our backdoors. However, Queen 10 got there. But I'm still going to bet it anyway. If he check raises us, it's pretty gruesome. But we do end up making the second nuts. I don't think he has Queen 10. It's very unlikely. He's been check raising us a lot. So hopefully he calls us, betting on the bigger side. Hopefully he's got like King 9, King Jack, a hand like that. And he can find a call with a 2 pair. Just going to flatter my kings on the top table. And he does call us on the bottom table. What did he have? Did he have a set? He rivered a set of 5 set. So the flop he had a gut shot, which doesn't really, okay, he had a gut shot and 2 backdoors. And then he turned the back door, flush draw and a gut shot, and he called, yeah. He's okay, I'm going to call on the top left, top middle, sorry, of my kings. It's a bit of a bad board, but should be a bad board for his range. Then he pots the turn, which I find really strange. I'm just going to fold. Bottom left, my aces, because I had the 10, after I 3-bet. I'm gonna c-bet the turn, and now I'm gonna check call. I think he has a flush draw. I think he'd raise with Queen 10. He could have 7-10. I'm just gonna check call, give him a chance to bluff if he does have spades. He bets big, but I think he'd raise the flop if he had a set. The only way he's got me beat, I think, is if he has Jack 8. I want to call. And he has Jack 8. But you know, I knew what it would be if he had me beat. Just unfortunate. So he flopped top set on the bottom right. I'm just going to play it aggressively. So wait a minute, he called the turn with Jack 8. That's pretty terrible. Oh, I didn't 3-bet pre-flop, I just opened it. Yeah, it's just, you can see why he's so bad. You know, I'm reading his hands perfectly. I don't, you know, he's not going to win money. I don't care. You can't play like that and be a long-term winner. Just hopefully he doesn't leave the table, that's all I'm saying. And now he's tightened up. Oh, I really want to 4-bet this hand, but it's just not. I know, it's got a gap in the top. 8-9 Jack Queen. It's just, that would just be high variance play, you know. Yeah, I'm just going to fold this flop. I don't like calling. So let's just fold or raise. This guy's not playing a hand now. Well, this is a very, very, very weak hand. I don't even know if I should be opening that hand. Well, fuck's sake, he's not playing at all now. It's just ridiculous. Tilts me. I'm gonna have to fold this bottom table because this guy, well, the short stack 3-bet. This guy, I'm gonna call chop left though with 8-9 Jack deuce after this guy 3-bet. Just gonna fold 8-5 flop. Hopefully this guy opens the button. Definitely 3-betting that hand. We will actually win a hand against him without him sucking out. Top pair, I'm actually just going to check that because I don't want to be raised off my hand if I bet. So I'm just going to check. If he bets, I'm definitely going to call one to try and hit a diamond or any card or the nuts. Now I'm still checking, probably hit the nuts, and I'll just check jam. Still going to check. I don't expect him to have a full house very often, but he might think it's a good card to bluff. The only way I'll miss value is if obviously he has king 9 or 8-9. If he has a full house, I'll just hate my life. Wow, he has a full house, but you know, he wasn't going to fold the turn if I bet anyway. Whatever, it's fucking ridiculous. Probably doesn't fold the turn anyway, because he's so bad. So what can you do? Give him a chance to bluff every time and he ends up having the nuts. Incredible. Just Gonna give up on this bottom left table. He's only playing one table, this guy. I'm just going to 3-bet again. Don't care. He's folding now. He knows he's getting lucky. But that's the worst thing. When a fish knows that they're getting lucky, then they might tighten up or leave the table or something, you know. Still going to 3-bet this hand. I know it's really bad. Don't do this at home, kids. But I think I will outplay him if he doesn't suck out on me. If he 4-bets, I would definitely just folding. And on this board, I'm betting and probably not folding. Although I won't be getting my money in miles ahead. It'll be more sort of coin flippy style, but I don't really have worst case scenario. But you know, hopefully it's our turn to suck out, and it is. Hopefully that tilts him a bit anyway. Yeah, that was a very bad hand to 3-bet, but you know, he's tilted me or something like that. Now we got evenish stacks. I need to get the rest of it off him. Obviously without the queen, without the 10 there, I wouldn't fold. I would fold without the 10, because at least I have like a couple more outs to hit trips. But yeah, like I said, it's a very marginal situation. But okay, aces, we definitely 3-betting from the small blind. This guy's really tight though. Yeah, that's not a great flop for someone that... I'm just going to bet fold, I think. Oh, I typed it in the chat box. If he raises, yeah, definite fold. He has 2-pair too often. Or like, yeah, definite fold. You could even have like a set of kings. I'm going to bet on the bottom left against that guy. Now that I turned my flush draw. It's a bit of a weird thing to do because it's pretty gross. But how can he have an ace? Oh no, he probably does. I'm not going to bluff the river. Probably actually does have a set of aces or ace king. Nope. He didn't have a king or an ace. But obviously if I bet, then he probably would have had an ace and he would have called me. What did he have? Okay, he had the second pair and a guttable, which is, if he's going to raise pre-flop. Oh, I donked. Oh, I didn't realise I donked into him. Yeah. Flop the nuts top left. Jacks to a 3-bet and a call. I'm only calling because this guy is flatting. I don't like calling with a pair in my hand, to be honest. I'm not calling 3-bets with a pair in my hand, but only because I was getting pretty amazing odds will I do it. With the ace, like with Jack, ace 8, with the ace of hearts, with the ace 8 of hearts, then it would have been an easier decision. But when you flop a non-nut flush draw in PLO, it's not that exciting, especially in a 3-bet pot. And this is a pretty scary board for anyone. Well, probably more scary for me. I expect this to really hit his range of defending the big blind. But when he checks twice, it's kind of interesting, but I don't really rep anything if I bet, but hey. So 8-9 is good, and it is. He must add pocket pair. Yeah, kings. Oh, I didn't realise I've been recording for 40 minutes. I'm going to have to wrap the video up soon. I wanted to get this guy before the end. But you can't force things too much. That's when you just start losing money or giving it away. Yeah, I've been pretty shafted today. But it's all down to EV. And, well, most of it. So, what can you do? I didn't see bet the flop on the top left. I think it's just too many draws and it hits too many people's ranges. I will bet the flush though, backdoor flush, even though it's only jack high. If anyone had a full house, if anyone had ace king, I expect him to bet the turn. So if I beat, yeah, it would only be by a queen high flush draw. But I expect him to call with any flush. Well, not any flush, but any medium flush. A little bit of value cutting myself, but it's better to value cut yourself than rely on other people to bet the hand for you. It's all about thin value, man. Okay, so that's going to wrap up the video at the end of this hand. Just see bet my ace high flush draw and my ace high flush draw. What? How can I bet 4? What? Is there? I don't understand that. Somehow. Interesting turn with the, I'm just going to fold my diamonds. I really think this guy could be at it. Oh, he timed out pre-flop, okay. I really think that guy's at it, but I can't call with the guy behind me with just a flush draw, really. I called with the 6, 8, 7, 9. It's an empty side pot, so I can just check down, and now I can bet for value. Just going to pot it to let him know that I got a good hand. Get him out of there, and this guy's only got drawing to a 6, and the 6 comes surely enough. But that's poker, folks. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys.